If after death the soul ends up in heaven or hell, then where do new souls come from? Let's start with the text. The soul doesn't end up in heaven or hell. Through its way of life, the soul either ascends to heaven or descends to hell. How we live is our choice. The word ends up implies something random, like hitting or missing a target. Is it just chance? No, it doesn't work like that. Through our way of life, we make the choices ourselves. We open the gates to either hell or heaven for ourselves. That's the first point. Now, where do new souls come from? If you've been to church, notice how one candle lights another. The flame on the original candle isn't lost, but new flames appear. In this way, you can light many candles from a single one. And then from these candles others lit, and so on. The fire multiplies, or how else can we describe it? That's exactly the question. How do we describe it? This analogy, as the Holy Fathers explain, reflects the origin of human souls. Where does the body come from? The same place the soul comes from. It begins when two tiny cells, one from the man and one from the woman, merge. As soon as they unite in the womb of the future mother, that's where it all starts. At this stage, science can already identify many things: the child's eye color, height, sex, and so on. And in the same way, the soul begins to exist. New people come into being from this tiniest spark of life. With the merging of the male and female cells during fertilization, the soul begins to exist. That's why we say abortion is unacceptable. At the very moment of this union is already a person, a living soul. So there are deeply significant aspects to consider here. If you think about it, why are memorials for the dead held on the 40th day? And for those of you who've been pregnant, isn't it true that something significant happens with the child around the 40th day? Right away, there's a sense of something stirring, developing. It's not random. The transition into eternity through death reminds us of a person's birth on this earth. And so the soul begins to exist. This phenomena belonging to the spiritual world doesn't follow material laws. The soul doesn't need to appear in the same way the body does. It doesn't even require those initial cells. Once again, I'll say, how did God create the world? He said, "Let there be." And it was. He is God. The soul begins in a similar way.